What is up guys, in this video I will tell you why you shouldn't avoid a telephoto prime lens for street photography. I had a lot of fun in my last photo walk and I want to share the whole experience with you guys. When it comes to prime lenses for street photography, the first thing that comes to mind is the 35mm lens, right? But what about this one? The Sigma 60mm f2.8. A weird looking lens that on a micro four thirds camera gives the full frame equivalent of 120mm. Let me show you the photo walk, and at the ending of this clip I will tell you why you should give this lens a try. Here I am in the park where I noticed this girl holding a flower. Thanks to the telephoto lens, she wasn't even aware of my presence. I took multiple shots and I'm quite satisfied with the results. Behind her, there's a fence and some odd-looking boats in the shape of a swan. To make things interesting for you guys, I used two cameras. An Olympus that has our 60mm lens on it and a Panasonic with the 17mm lens. So here is the wide-angle lens. See how busy this frame looks. Let's now try the 60mm. The image is a lot cleaner. I took a shot there and the odd-looking swans now look like they're about to take over the world. Scary, but I like it. Here we have the statue of a horse. See how wide this frame is? Let's now switch to the 60mm. I believe that this statue looks better in this way. And look, now we see that some teenagers probably were crazy enough to escalate it and write their nicknames with markers. I also noticed these kids that were playing next to it. Because the Sigma lens is so zoomed in, I was able to capture some playful moments without being intrusive. The kids didn't even notice me. With the wide-angle lens, the story would have been different. Here is a place where seagulls usually land, but because I was too close with the 17mm lens, they were scared of me. I took one step backwards, used the 60mm, and this happened. Because I was standing at a safe distance, the seagulls landed. It always amuses me how their feet are too big for that surface and they hang out like that. This guy wasn't frightened at all. I was able to capture multiple shots before he gave me the kiss my ass pose. Being a prime lens, I'm expecting good sharpness. I spent more time with the seagulls and managed to capture this. If we look closer, we see good sharpness. Even if this lens looks a bit odd, this is still a Sigma art lens, so of course it should have decent performances. The most colorful thing in the park is this bicycle suspended on a fence. With the 17mm lens, we get a wide angle where we see a lot of extra stuff that we don't need. Now, from the same distance, I'm switching to the 60mm and it's filling my frame with the main subject. Check out the colors, quite nice. Landscapes are also something that you would want to try. But here, with the 17mm lens, the image doesn't look interesting. I want to capture these three buildings from afar. Now is the moment when you will truly understand how big is the difference between the two lenses. Switching to the 60mm. This is a massive change. It might be hard at first, but when you get used to the focal length, it pays off. Don't get me wrong, I will always prefer wide-angle lenses. Give me something that brings the full frame equivalent of 35mm and that's all I need. But there's something nice about the prime telephoto lens on the streets. I will give you my best example. Here is a young couple on a bench. There is nothing special here. We always see young couples having a good time. This is not something that fills you up with regret if you ruin the moment, if the subjects notice you. But now we have a different story. The gray hair, the old-fashioned clothes, the relaxed posture. This is an old couple. This is a deeper love. As a photographer, you really don't want to bruise this scene. You want to capture it as it is, natural, without being noticed. Here's where the Sigma 60mm will help you the most. When I first purchased it, I said to myself that this is a bad decision. This lens is impractical for street photography. I was wrong. The Sigma 60mm allows you to stay incognito, it determines you to take more photos, and it makes your photo walk more enjoyable, almost effortless. Another important thing, it will not make you a lazy photographer. This is a prime lens, not a zoom lens. You still have to search for the best angle. You still have to move more. The photo walk that you just watched was one of the most enjoyable things I did this year. Sometimes you need a fresh thing, something that you never tried before. If you can find a cheap telephoto lens for your street photography, give it a chance. You won't regret it. On this channel, I'm not encouraging consumerism, I'm just showing the joy that photography brings. You can enjoy photography with cheap gear, and I hope that my video determined you to take more photos. I will make more vlogs like this one, so consider subscribing. Also, if you have a telephoto prime lens that you enjoy, please write in the comment section what's the name of that prime lens. See you on the next one, guys.